And joining us live on the show is Nathan Paul Southern, who is an operations director at the Eyewitness Project. Welcome to WION, sir.
Thank you.
Now, this is not the first time that such an incident has happened in the Oval Office. We earlier saw a similar showdown happening with Zelensky, the Ukrainian president. But this time around, the South African president seems to have been extremely well prepared. He read the room well as well. I want to seek your assessment of how the South African president managed this situation.
Yeah, Ramaphosa handled it extremely well, and the result was a disgustingly embarrassing display for Trump. Ramaphosa is not stupid. He knows the relationship with South Africa is not a top priority for the United States. He knows that, ironically, the United States have been publicly criticizing their stance on accusing Israel of genocide, which they are doing. So he knows that being brought into the Oval Office today was almost certainly going to be some kind of theatrical display like this to embarrass him. And the fact that they took in so-called white refugees from South Africa just a few weeks ago, it just shows that this was always going to be the plan, to try to leverage this situation for Trump's political benefit within a kind of US culture wars dynamic. But it didn't work. Ramaphosa was very composed. He handled himself very, very well. Trump looked like he was reaching. And Ramaphosa is also very aware that the end result will be Trump has got to do his little display. That will help with his base at home. But the reality is that won't impact any potential minerals deal that Trump actually wants to do with South Africa. So they kind of come away from this both winning to their respective audiences.
Right, Mr. Southern, I also want to seek your assessment on the claims that were made. Trump's white genocide claim has been denied by Ramaphosa, who rather said that violence is a problem all across South Africa and not just against white people. Your views on this?
Yeah, there's no serious legal claim to argue that South Africa is conducting a white genocide. There are problematic relations between races in South Africa right now. There's an attempt to try to redistribute some of the land and some of the wealth that was acquired during colonial and apartheid reign. That's not been easy, and there is violence and there are political problems that come from that. But the reality is it's a much more complex situation than I think Donald Trump has any intention of even attempting to understand. But the vast majority of the victims of violence, the victims of murder in South Africa, remain to be black South Africans. The vast majority of wealth, around 70% of it in South Africa, is owned by around about a 9% population of white people in the country. So claims that there's a great reversal and organized genocide taking place just don't stand up to any form of scrutiny whatsoever.
Right, my last question to you, Mr. Southern. Talk to us about how Trump has rather turned Oval Office into an ambush office.
Yeah, I mean, this plays exactly into Trump's MO. He is someone who understands theater and show business. Every world leader wants to be in that room. You're guaranteed views, your legitimacy goes up, and there is a chance that you can make deals after it that could be massively beneficial for your government. And I think after the kind of shocking display to Zelensky and then what happened today, world leaders are very aware that Trump might try to play some game that really appeals to his base in America that are for some reason convinced that this is putting America first and is actually going to be beneficial to the US. If they can just sit through it, remain dignified, composed, not embarrass Trump publicly too much, then what happens is it's only Trump's base that really remembers this in a positive way. And the world leaders are aware that if they just sit through it, take the little game, and then afterwards, they may actually be able to get what they came for in a diplomatic sense.
Right, Mr. Southern, thanks very much for taking our time and joining us here on WION.
Thank you.